And here we go again. Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am the Omniviewer, and I know I said I wasn't going to be posting much in the way of content in my last video, but I did specify edited content. This is going to be an unedited, unscripted reaction to the trailer for 10 Cloverfield Lane, which, depending on when you're watching this, aired either yesterday or a couple days ago, whenever. It's online by now, you've probably seen it, and you've probably heard all of the hype surrounding it. Now, I have watched the trailer, and it looks like it's going to be a very intense film. I will say that. It's definitely going to be a real gripping drama about this family, I presume they're a family, in a fallout shelter, who slowly go crazy as they grow sick of each other's company, but are too afraid to go outside because of what might await them out there. Looks like it could be an interesting film, but I'll tell you what I don't think it is. A Cloverfield sequel. Now, in case you've forgotten, Cloverfield was a 2009 film, I think it was 2009 at least, that was a found footage movie, and thus far the only found footage movie focused on a giant monster attack. And it was a good movie. I'll do a proper review of it another day, but one thing that a lot of people have been clamoring for in terms for Cloverfield is a sequel, particularly because a lot of mysteries were raised and not answered. Even when we got the DVD and the Blu-ray, these questions were not answered. So a lot of people are now thinking that 10 Cloverfield Lane is going to be a Cloverfield sequel. Why? Well, having seen the trailer, the only reasons I can think of as to why they think it'll be a Cloverfield sequel is because it's a bad robot movie with the word Cloverfield in the title. Otherwise, I see absolutely no evidence whatsoever that this is going to have any connection to Cloverfield beyond that superficial title connection. And I really don't see how people are getting this. Well, no, that's a lie. I know exactly how people are convincing themselves that this is a Cloverfield sequel. It's the same way that people convinced themselves the original Cloverfield was going to be a Voltron movie. They are latching on to tiny little bits of stuff taken completely out of context and hoping beyond hope that this is finally what they're going to get. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't think this is going to have any connection to Cloverfield whatsoever. In fact, the only connection is that word in the title, Cloverfield. If it had been any other word, this wouldn't even be a discussion. People might not even care this movie exists. 10 Mulberry Lane. What's that? I don't care. Let's go see Batman vs. Superman. You see? That doesn't make as much impact as 10 Cloverfield Lane because you associate Cloverfield with something from the past that you really wanted to see more of. And you just know they did that deliberately. They specifically put that word in there because they're hoping that this movie will market itself same way Cloverfield did. And that movie really did market itself. That was another trailer that came completely out of nowhere, completely unexpected, and people just kept the momentum going through pure speculation, overanalyzing every single little detail about one trailer and one poster. I mean, it was insane. But I think that's going to happen again in the upcoming weeks leading to this film's release, because it's coming out relatively soon. But I feel like I'm the only person who's not going to be disappointed that this isn't a Cloverfield sequel, because I don't believe it is. And let's also look at the fact that we've gotten statements from the bad robot people. And the two statements we've got, one is that they consider this movie a blood relative to Cloverfield. Now, what does that mean? Well, that's not the same as saying it's a sequel. When I hear that statement, I think it's more a tonal connection. Cloverfield wasn't really a traditional monster movie. It wasn't focusing on the soldiers and the scientists and the reporters who were following this monster, as giant monster movies usually do. It was focused more on the people running away, the faces in that crowd that's trying not to get stepped on. So I think that's what this movie is going for. It's more about ordinary people in an extraordinary situation, which is exactly what it looks like. People in a fallout shelter. I mean, there are a lot of things you can do with that can go any number of directions. Another statement came about saying that they intend for Cloverfield to be sort of their anthology series, like the Halloween movies were originally planned to be. Or basically it would mean Cloverfield is their version of The Twilight Zone or The Outer Limits or something like that. No actual franchise, no shared universe of any sort, but it's part of a series in a weird way. And really, that just serves to reinforce my belief that this has no connection to the monster movie. I could be wrong. I realize that. I could be very wrong, and these people could be in their bunker hiding from the monster apocalypse. That is very possible. They could open the bunker, and there is the Cloverfield monster's big brother rampaging around. I just really, really don't think it is, and I don't think that people should be so convinced that it is. And people are already convinced, completely and utterly, that this is going to be a Cloverfield sequel. So I don't know, we'll see in a couple months which one of us gets to gloat and which one of us has to go back and say they were wrong. I just know where I'm standing at this point, and I thought I'd at least throw that out there for people to consider. Again, just because it has the company and the name doesn't mean there's any connection, and if you watch the trailer, I think you'll actually realize that. But hey, that's just me. You think whatever you want, we'll know for sure in a couple months. Well, until such time as we meet again, this is the Omniviewer signing off.